Welcome to this morning's workout. We're in Zwift today. Today we're doing 5x5 at 80%. 5 block, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 80% FTP. We've got a 30-minute warm-up, 30 minutes of endurance after the sweet spot, and a 10-minute cool down. Thought we'd rock the level 25 Argyle kit today in Zwift. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, there's the kit there. So Zwift, an online multiplayer game, can be used as a training tool. Right now I'm sitting on my bike, connected to a trainer, connected to the computer, logged into Zwift. All the metrics that you see on screen are real, so I'm currently pedaling 87 RPM, just over 200 watts, my heart rate's 125. That's all real, and then in game, your distance is tracked, your elevation is tracked, your time on the bike is tracked. Obviously you start at level 1, and then every level, the game gives you something, whether it's a new set of wheels, a new frame, or a new piece of kit. And the wheels and frame are important within the game because the game is written in such a way that it uses coefficient drag. So there are some bikes which are heavier, so therefore if you want to use this for competing, because there are a huge online community of racers within the Zwift community, there are certain bikes that you would not want to race with because they're too heavy or their drag too great, and then there are some which you do want to race with because they have a very low coefficient. Really rewarding to get those experience points and to move up the levels because you can upgrade your kit. So level 25 currently is the highest level. However, there is talk about extending new levels, new pieces of kit. We'll just have to keep watching. So anyway, today's ride, nice and steady to begin with, and then the 5x5 minutes. We're really tight for time today, so we're going to skip forward. So sweet spot is just below threshold. 80 to 90 would be your sweet spot. The more sweet spot riding you can do, the greater benefit you will receive. So threshold, or your FTP, in theory, is the highest you can hold for an hour. Sweet spot, you should be able to hold for considerably longer than that. However, you need to keep training in that area in order to increase the body's capacity to cope with that workload, and obviously that's the point of training, so then when we need it, we can perform. So the more time you can hold at sweet spot in training, and the faster you can recover sweet spot intervals, then the better you'll be in the long run out on the road or whatever you're doing. Coming up to 10 minutes, let's get cracking. We're not on erg mode today, so we need to control the power with our gears or our cadence, as is often the case when I'm doing intervals. First few minutes takes me to settle down and to find the right gearing, find the right power to match, set out in the plan. Now, there are lots of pros and cons for using erg or not using erg. Personally, take erg mode off and you're more free to work, to achieve, because the problem is with erg mode, if you're coming to the end of a session and you're struggling, then you're going to be grinding to hit the watts that you need, because as you slow down cadence, trainer continually up the resistance to match power can be problematic for you. Today should be relatively simple. As we said at the beginning of the week, fairly steady week this week, more based around cadence drills, technique on the bike, so the legs aren't too tired. We've still been working, so we're still feeling it. So today, as we're in workout mode, there won't be any significant increase in resistance as the terrain is pretty much ignored, but you're still getting the benefit of the elevation. Main targets within Zwift is the Tron bike, so 50,000 meters is the target for climbing. It's called the Everest Challenge. You do Everest, 8,484 meters, and you have a percentage 0 to 100, and you think you're just about there. You get to the summit of Everest, and in actual fact, we've only done 8,000, we've climbed 50,000. So currently, I think we're on 44, so another 6,000 meters to go. 6 hours workout today with climbing the mountain. Should get us about 500 meters. Tomorrow we're on an endurance ride, a couple of hours. Again, it's just about adding volume in to the legs, keeping them ticking over, nothing too taxing. Endurance, looking at lower zone 2, so for me it's about 200 watts. So a couple of hours ride tomorrow. Then we've got a rest day. We're going to need to rest and recover because the next few days are pretty hard. We've got Violator, a workout within Sufferfest. It's all about sprints, full out effort. The sprints range from anything from 5 seconds to 15 seconds, with anything from 5 to 45 second rest. We follow that up with Revolver. We've done that a couple of weeks ago, so we know what to expect. Again, that's another Sufferfest workout. An hour and 15 minutes of VO2 max sprints. A little bit longer sprints this time, more of a sustained effort. We've got another sort of sweet spot session to do the day after that. Cadence builds, and then to finish off what will be super tough 7 days, we'll have 3 times 25 minutes. We did that a couple of weeks ago. This time we're upping the pace and we're doing it at 90%, just below threshold, and then we're going to follow that with a 5-hour endurance ride. Might think that we're not really doing much work this week, but everything links in together, and we can't do full out efforts every single day. If we did, we would burn out. And as I said, it's not necessarily efforts which you get your gains from, it's the rest. You've got to provide time for your body to recover and adapt to the training stresses. So proper sleep, proper nutrition and proper rest. Very important. Stretching, yoga, do everything you possibly can to help the body, because otherwise putting yourself through blocks and blocks and blocks of hard efforts, but you will not be maximising your gains. So just past halfway of the second effort. It's interesting that as we develop, the body's capacity increases, and certainly utilising a program like Zwift, very apparent. It's very easy to see where your gains are being made. I know I mentioned it in a previous video, but you know, I'm relatively easily trundling along here, 280 watts, 3.8 watts per kilo. When I started Zwift, I couldn't even maintain those levels when I was trying to race, and now we're utilising those levels, sweet spot, not threshold or VO2. And I think for me, that's the good thing of using a program like Zwift, or if you're doing training out on the road, which unfortunately due to family commitments I don't get to do as often as I'd like, but when I do, you've obviously got a power meter, so look at the same metrics, and over time you can see those metrics change, but there's something very rewarding and gratifying. See those changes. There's someone ahead of us on a Rafa jersey. Zwift have the blue Rafa kit. R Hall from the UK. So he's doing the same course as we are. He's doing the Three Sisters Zwift HQ run missions, as they call them, from time to time. And the mission for July is Rafa Rising. Take on the Three Sisters. It's about 48k, I think. Yeah, 30 miles, 650 odd meters climbing. Take that on. Take as long as you like. Complete it in one ride, however, and you are entered into competition with Rafa. Win some prizes. Quite a good thing. Gets people on their bikes, on their trainer, gets them in game. Player retention, obviously from Zwift HQ's point of view, a massive benefit to them. So we're just coming up through the village, which I have to say is probably one of my favourite backdrops within Zwift. A little Bavarian village up in the mountains, and then once we pass through the village we go into the high mountain range. So anyway, and now it's just under 2 minutes to go with this little respite, and then we'll crack on. Probably a good point here to fast forward the video, give me a chance to get these headphones off, get a bit of air around my face. That's the downside of training indoors. It's very important to try and keep airflow going. I've got a fan down here on the floor. It is blowing up, but of course having a can on your ear doesn't really help. So catch you in a little bit. folks, welcome back. So, one more block to do. Just building on from the last couple of videos. Important to try and maintain proper form at all times. Really focus on that pedal stroke. So don't just leave it for the drills. Try and practice those drills at all time. I find myself doing it every so often, doing a wee systems check, you know, relaxing the feet, relaxing the shoulders, trying to visualize the feet pedaling round in circles, keeping the knees tucked in, hands relaxed. And then lastly, trying to focus on your breathing. Trying to be as efficient as possible as you can. So you can practice that anytime. Out on the road, you know, quick trip down to the shops. Okay. Think about what you're doing on the bike. Especially doing a session like this where you're not overly taxing yourself. So it should be relatively simple to stay focused and to use less energy to stay focused. Because the thing is, we can focus on what we need to do all the time, but it depends on the intensity of our effort will dictate how much energy we need to devote to focusing on what we need to do. Does that make sense? So, a couple of minutes left. Final block, 5-minute rest from there. What's that? Okay, yep. Just checking the clock on the computer screen here, seeing what we've got time left to get done, or what we can squeeze in, I should say, in the time that we've got left. Got to get cracking with things to do in the house before getting ready for work. So yeah, try and think about your efficiency on the bike whenever you can. And the more that you do it, it's like anything else. The more you do it, the more practice you become at it. The more skilled you become. And then there'll become a point, you won't even realize you've reached that point, but you'll become unconsciously competent. So you won't even know that you're doing it, but you'll be doing it. And that's your goal with anything in life that needs to be trained. You start off as consciously incompetent. Sorry, unconsciously incompetent, because when you start, you don't know what you don't know. So then you become conscious of what you don't know, so you're consciously incompetent. And then your overall goal is to become unconsciously competent. That makes sense? Last set coming up. I'll catch you on the other side of it. That's the last block done. A little bit higher on the watts than it should have been, but you find that as the muscles warm up, as you find your groove, or I do anyway, as the muscles warm, as you find the groove, it's very easy just to go just a little bit too hard, and you're not necessarily thinking that you're going harder. It's just like driving your car on the motorway and then coming off. It's very easy for your speed to creep up, you're not quite aware of it. So same for me on the trainer. So just a 5-minute rest here. As I said earlier, we're gonna skip the next 30 minutes. We'll do that on the way to work with our commute, and 30 minutes on the way back. So we'll just get to the top of the radio tower climb. Don't worry, I've not forgotten. There is an upcoming video about the special surprise. The clue is radio tower. It's coming. I haven't made it yet, but it's on the list of things to do. So anyway, I'm just gonna finish off here. Just 3 minutes, and then we'll turn the bike around. We'll do 5 of the 10-minute cool down. As I say, we'll catch up with those miles on the way backwards and forwards to work. So we'll finish off there. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Share the video, like the video, smash that button, keep pressing that button until your fingers bleed. Share the video, subscribe to the channel if you don't already subscribe, and best of all, leave your comments down below. But thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you tomorrow for another video. Right on.